Okay, there we go. I think we're recording now. So good evening and welcome to our Meditational Satsang. For those of you who are new, I am Nenari, Princess of the Sea, and I do the weekly meditations here on Tuesday evenings. And we have Jennifer and Amaya who do the weekly meditations on Wednesdays and Thursdays, although I believe Amaya is taking this week off. She's away at retreat. So she will not be doing a meditation Thursday evening. However, that said, for those of you who are new and who have not been here, I'll just kind of recap how things go. And for those of you who are veterans, bear with me. The way things proceed here is that this is a sacred and safe space and resonance for you and for all of us to be held in the utmost unconditional love and unconditional acceptance, free from judgment. And this means that you can feel comfortable to share and safe to share whatever you feel to share in the moment, and knowing that we are free from judging you ever. And so the way that our evening usually works is that usually there is some form of topic that Source, God, Spirit, Master Artist, whatever you choose to call Source Energy, brings through in a message. And then after that, we go into a meditation. And then after that, we will open it up for the satsang discourse or discussion part of the evening, in which you can share what you feel you received from the meditation, anything that came through, any spiritual questions that you have, any of that nature. And so in that light, since we were talking about it just before we began this evening, yes, in fact, just about 3 days ago now, I released a new video talking about relationships, and it's relationships of all kinds. It's not just romantic relationships; it's relationships of all kinds, and talking about being in a place of compassion and really hearing one another, and really being in each other's presence, and what we as the divine feminine and also the divine masculine require for the journey to really be able to be that essence together, and to have make a new scene where dreams come true. And that's really the title of it. And the inspiration for that video came from many, many sources, from particularly the last month or so. I've had many, many people coming to me, mentoring, asking me about relationship questions, both romantic and others. And in particular, as I noted in the video, that one woman in particular who I've just kind of taken on under my wing and have been mentoring recently. And Shad, I also share about you in that video as well. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to watch it or not, but I do share about you a little bit in there as well. And interestingly enough, it also was inspired by my twin soul and his song by that same title, Dreams Come True, because and revolving around the same time, just before and since I've released the video, I've been really watching a lot of Thich Nhat Hanh's videos. And I've watched his videos off and on over the years. I've read his books. I've, been very immersed in it. And his teachings I embody in the work that I do as well, and how I mentor. That's why we have this sacred space and sacred resonance that we do here, because it's held in compassion and unconditional love. And in my second book, Stepping into Spiritual Oneness, that I published now 7 years ago, I talk about what compassion really means. And compassion really means being with another, allowing another to be who they are, and being with another without trying to change or fix them, just allowing them to be who they are, where they are. And so all of this was evolving around relationships and what, and I had not said anything to Soul about watching the Thich Nhat Hanh videos, and yet last evening, late last evening, I had noticed on his YouTube page that he had liked a YouTube video of Thich Nhat Hanh's. And so that parlayed a discussion about his suffering, because Thich Nhat Hanh's teachings are based upon compassion and how you suffer, how all of us suffer, how humanity suffers, and how the greatest healing can come from embracing that suffering and embracing the one you love in their suffering. And in one of the videos, and I'm going to provide the links for you for the 3 videos. I posted them up on my Facebook wall. I've posted them in various groups and whatnot, but some of you may not have seen them. So I will post all 3 videos so that you can watch them. 2 of them, one is a video on part of an interview that he did with Oprah. The rest of it is the full interview, and then the 3rd link is the link that my twin soul had watched last night. And so those are the 3 links right there in the chat. And in watching this 3rd video, I was very taken back by something that was said. And I want to read it to you. And I want you to really embrace this. In imagining yourself, either saying this to your own self or saying this to someone that you love, and or having this be said to you, and how it would feel. So he says this, that you are to come to the one you love and to say, I know many years you have been suffering. I have been unable to help you to suffer less. In fact, I have reacted in such a way with anger, with accusation, that makes you suffer more. I'm sorry. Dear one, it is not my intention to make you suffer like that. It is because I did not see the suffering inside you, difficulties you had. You need to help me, dear one. You should tell me about your suffering, your difficulties, so that I will understand and I will not react in the way I have in the past. Can you imagine being in that presence of hearing that from someone that you love, or even saying that to your own self, or you saying that to one you love? And that opens the door for the healing, because then you're in a place of what Thich Nhat Hanh talks about as compassionate listening, where you can listen, as I spoke of, that is published in my 2nd book that I published 7 years ago, about really being with someone, regardless of what they're saying, if they're lashing out at you or whatnot, just allowing that person to be without you reacting, without you being triggered. And how healing that is, because, and he gives it, and we've talked about this here in Satsang many a times, in which you hold your inner child and you hold your feelings of pain and your suffering as if a mother holds her child. And we've done that many a times here in Satsang and many a times here in our meditations, where we hold each other in that space of unconditional love, and it frees us. And it makes the suffering less, as Thich Nhat Hanh talks about. And it makes it so that you can actually hear one another, and you can recognize difference and heal. Not only heal what's within you, but also heal in understanding another. There's that saying of you don't know what someone's gone through unless you've walked a mile in their moccasins. It's really putting yourself in that place to see it from another's point of view without reacting. If they're lashing out at you in anger, this happened a little while ago with my twin soul, in which he was lashing out, and I just said to him what Thich Nhat Hanh says, and ironically is also happens to be one of his songs, my twin soul songs, called I'm Here. One of the messages that Thich Nhat Hanh says, you are to come to your loved one or come to your own self, your own soul, and say, darling, I am here for you. I know you suffer, and I'm here for you, and I hold you in that place. And so as we go into a meditation this evening, you're going to hold our own inner child and heal our own inner child, and then hold the one that we love and allow them to speak to us. in compassionate listening, and listening from the heart. And then in loving speech, as Thich Nhat Hanh talks about, we're going to lovingly speak to the one we love and speak to our own soul and heal any pain and any suffering that you're feeling within you or within one you love, so that you can reconcile, that you can have peace, that you can come into a space of joy and bliss and love. So within that, I invite you now to close your eyes and just take some slow, deep breaths, feeling comfortable and safe in the space that you're in, knowing that Source is right here where you are. Source is. We invite in all our angels and guides, loved ones from the other side, those who are here on this earth who are not physically here in our presence at this moment. Invite them into your heart. Deeply breathe in the love, just focusing on your breath, mindful breathing. Deeply breathing as the Buddha breath, deep from the belly, bring calmness and centeredness in your heart, allowing the angels and guides to surround you with love and Source to surround you with love. Being mindful of the breath, focusing only on the breath in this moment. When you are love, and as you continue to focus on your breath, imagine for a moment that you are in a forest. You are walking the earth in this forest, being deeply mindful of your breath, noticing the peace with each in and out breath, relaxation and the calmness. Walking barefoot on the earth, feeling the earth between your toes, guiding your steps, hearing the birds and the creatures in the forest, feeling the gentle breeze, rustle of the leaves on the trees, listening with your heart, song upon the winds, being heartful, soulful, and mindful, every nuance and essence as you walk upon the earth, smelling fresh air, breathing in with each deep, free, full breath. enjoying the walk, all of its nuances and essences and resonances. As you continue to walk, notice that by your feet is a rock. Pick it up, however small or however big it is. Notice it as you pick it up. It seems to be rather heavy, almost as if you can't pick it up. As you hold it in your hands, walking, notice how heavy that rock becomes. This rock represents your pain, your suffering. What is it that you are hurting about? Be the pain feel over a relationship that you are connected to, situation in your life, suffering in the world. Whatever that rock represents of your suffering, just notice it. Notice it in the weight of this rock. Feel it. Feel this pain. As if this rock is your child. Only hold this rock. Say, you are suffering. I'm here for you. Hold this rock to your heart. Maybe hard at first to pull the rock to your heart chakra, your heart center. Its weight is heavy. Just keep walking. Mindfulness. Breathing. Hold this pain to your heart. Notice what the cause of the pain is. Where is this pain coming from? Notice it's coming from this belief, a false perception. That you believe a BS, a belief system, no longer serves you. Outdated. Just lovingly hold this pain. It's this pain. Just as you would caress a child. It's okay. real eyes. Realize now a new perception. Can you see things differently? Right seeing, creating a new scene. Dream of feeling comes true. Giving the gift of your presence fully in this moment. See it in Source's eyes. This pain is beautiful. It's a gift. See the soul remembering the life lesson given. This pain and this suffering. Release the pain now by seeing with new eyes, a new vision. From the eyes of love. Being it is healed. Notice that rock pain is becoming lighter. You can now feel joy, bliss, and peace and love. Just pure love as you release. It's just a pebble. As you walk, notice that there is a body of water there, a stream, flowing in the forest. Being released. Place it in the water, toss it in the water, skipping the stones. You feel lighter now, as if a weight has been lifted off of you. Are free. As you continue to walk, feeling the earth in your feet, sounds of birds, smelling the beautiful air, gloriousness of all creation around you. Notice a little bit in the distance in this forest. There's a person there, someone you love, someone you know is suffering. You are mindful now, and in this heart-centered space, resonance, fully present and in compassion. Up to this person, gaze them in the eyes. Not say anything, just gaze into their eyes, gaze into their soul, heart. See the pain, See their suffering. What has them hurting? Feel it within you. Gazing into their eyes. Take their hand. Say to them, here to offer my presence to you. I know you are suffering. Please share with me your suffering, your difficulties. I will listen. I will listen with an open heart and compassion. I will be free from judging you. Unconditionally accept you as you are. And allow them to share with you pain, their anger, their hurt, their suffering, whatever it is. And if it's about you, about a situation, let them share. Let them pour it all out so that they can empty their heart. Just be there and listen. Reacting. Just listen. Taking what they have to say. Allow the anger. Allow the hurt. Allow the pain. As you allow it, it heals faster. Pour it all out and empty their heart to you. They cry. Okay. Simply take them in your arms now, as if they are just a little child. You're holding their inner child. It's okay. You love them. Pain wash away. It's by holding them and loving them. It's their face. Allow the tears to flow. Ask them, can they see now? It's a new vision. It's melting away. this pain into love. Your heart getting lighter. They know that they're free from being here to fix it, change it. Just here to love. Hold them in that new vision. Say to them, you are beautiful. Notice how they are getting lighter as you hold them more to physical, from physical form to spirit. They melt into your heart, fully healed. All you feel is love, passion, deep calmness and bliss, freedom. You are free. We are free. Take a deep breath now. Feel your feet in the earth once more, centering you, connecting you with the cosmos and Mother Gaia, Princess Gaia, sky. Deeply breathe that in and ground yourself back into this here and now moment. Feeling yourself more here in the room that you're in. Taking some slow, deep breaths. Coming back more fully, starting to feel your arms and your legs. Bring you back into the essence of the room. When you feel you're ready, you may open your eyes. Come back, refreshed, calm and centered, and at peace. Such beauty, such love. Welcome back, dear ones, to now the satsang portion of the evening. We will open up to discourse so that you may share what is in your heart of what you experienced within the meditation, or if you have any spiritual questions to ask. Felt that there was a big release there for everyone. Feeling a vortex of energy at the moment, actually, as everybody's starting to come back more and more fully to the room. Tears of joy and release and healing, beauty. Such beauty. Does anybody have anything that they wish to ask or to share? Please feel free to now. As we continue to hold this space, this resonance of unconditional love, unconditional acceptance, compassion, where you are on the journey, knowing it's okay right where you are. Feeling that peace. Bliss. Such bliss. Carolina says, thank you, beautiful. Got to get rid of the pounding in my head. That just started. That's because you have a lot of release. I recommend with this type of meditation, since it is so releasing, that you make sure you drink a lot of water. I mean, after meditation anyway, it's best to do that so that you can continue your release. I'd also put it out there and say that at least here in our homelands, we've been bombarded with chemtrails recently. And so I've had a reoccurring headache and / migraine and effects of that, you know, from the chemtrails, the things that didn't used to affect me are affecting me, and it's also because I'm in the last phase of the detoxing a lot of stuff out of my body as well from immunizations from years ago and whatnot as well. So it's been affecting me a lot more. So it's global. You know, we often tend to think of chemtrails as them going up in a plane and doing it in vapor. I recently came across a video which I shared with my twin soul, and he subsequently posted it on his Facebook wall as well, which I was very honored that he honored me in that way and appreciated that he did so. And this video talked about how to shift, you know, toxins out of the body. And another video related to that that I gave to him was a video on what these chemtrails are also being done is they're like bombs now that are being shot out from ships as well out on the ocean and stuff, and they're literally like a bomb, you know, chemtrail, and they're able to cover a wide area, and so they're doing that around the globe. And I know here recently we've had a lot of thunderstorms, which is unusual for this time of the year, and you know, such things, and a lot of that is equated to the chemtrails that we've been bombarded with. So along with that, headaches, you know, unusual sleeping patterns are normal, you know, not feeling very well, you know, there's a whole bunch of, you know, that going on too, to add to the aspect of why you have the pounding in your head, even though that just started with the meditation. In releasing, you know, for you, chemtrails are also a part of it. I don't usually like harping on, no pun intended, harp, but because it's usually generated from harp, but no pun intended, but you know, LOL, exactly, Carolina. I don't mean to harp on such things, but you know, part of our you know, journey is about being awake and aware to those things. It's not so much that we focus on them. It's more that we are just awake and aware and you know about these things. It's when we focus on them too much, then we're going down that rabbit hole of the matrix, and it becomes a distraction. And things like chemtrails, things like Monsanto, things of you know, government this and government that and whatever, they're all distractions that are given to us by the matrix to distract us from who we really are. Our focus, our real focus, and that's why I love Thich Nhat Hanh's work, and that's the core essence of my work, is to, yes, be awake and aware of these things. Yes, you don't want to stick your head in the sand. But at the same time, in that awakened awareness, you change your focus in real eyes, right? Realizing, or real eyes, right seeing, which is that of compassion. And it's really through relationships, because the issues that are going on with chemtrails and with the government and Illuminati and this and that are all an outer reflection of our own inner consciousness, our own personal inner consciousness, and the consciousness of collective humanity. And so the way to shift that is not through trying to fix out there and blaming the out there of the chemtrails and blaming the Illuminati and blaming this one and blaming that one and getting angry at it and all that other stuff, or focusing on it, and beating that drum. Where the shift comes is shifting from within first. And that comes from what we just did here in compassion, being compassionate and unconditionally accepting and unconditionally loving within first, and then also with our loved ones and with all of humanity. And that's how we shift things, because what we have, and I think it's Neil Donald Walsh who's talked about it, he says, it's not a political problem, it's not an economic problem, it's a spiritual problem. And at the moment that we come into that spiritual resonance of, what it says, in the Bible, really, love one another. When we come into that resonance of loving one another fully and completely, and being in that place of compassion when someone is suffering, or being in compassion for those who are suffering, who don't have anything to eat in this moment, that, and healing that from within and healing it within the world, that's where we're going to see our shift. And that's what this shift, is all about, that we're in, of the shift in consciousness. It's that's what the grand awakening is. The awakening planet is all about. And that's why I love Thich Nhat Hanh's work, and he's been doing this for so many years, as have I, and many of us. And that's what my focus is on, is one person at a time, one, event at a time, pouring love and compassion into it so that it heals. And, it starts from within, and then it goes into our outer relationships. And so that's why I did, the most recent video that I did. It was inspired by all of that, because that's where our true healing is. Shadrach, you said, I've been putting a presence in the cockpit that reminds the pilot that them and theirs are being harmed as well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because and that's where I think, and I feel that our shift in consciousness comes from, because, and people are starting to awaken to that, Shadrach, because, and I've heard this on several things that I've watched on YouTube, and interviews that people have been giving and stuff, in which, there's that realization, that realize, you come into realize, right? Right seeing and real eyes, to where it's like, okay, wait a minute. The Illuminati and all these people who are supposedly, we're saying, that are bad and whatever, that are doing the chemtrails or doing all of these things, well, aren't they just as much subjected to the chemtrails and their damaging effects as all of us are? And, the other thing that came to light to me late last night is in that same realm, is right now we're in the presence of I think it's the meteor shower, correct? What if, and I'm going to put this out there as a new perception, because part of, the work I do with you guys, and Thich Nhat Hanh's work and stuff, is how you heal it, like we did in that meditation just now, is changing the perception. Changing your seeing and coming to the presence of the heart. So what came to me late last night, actually, as I was drifting off very late last night, about 3 o'clock this morning or so, was what if those chemtrails, even though maybe they are, bad in the sense of they have aluminum and barium and things of that nature, what if we are being protected from, let's say, the meteor shower that's occurring, that maybe we don't know there's a meteor that's coming down that could potentially harm us, which would be more harmful than the chemtrails. So maybe these people are actually doing something good. And so when you start to come from that resonance and start to see that, yeah, these people are also being affected too, then you can have great compassion for them and great love for them and great healing for them, and hold them in that resonance. in that same resonance and same space of, love and compassion, and that heals it, and that heals with it, because it's just a projection of our own mind. When we're angry about something, and I'm guilty of it too. Last night, was it last night or the night before? I kind of had a meltdown. I got angry. There were some things that I thought I had healed through that I needed to heal, and they came up for me, and I shifted through them, and saw where I was suffering. And, I had a bit of a meltdown, and meltdown all over my twin soul, and freaked out on him. And it was good though. It was good though, because I needed to get that out. I needed to say my suffering. I needed to speak it out. And in fact, one of the things that I had texted him, I said, I don't think really in the last 5.5 years that I've really gotten angry with you about anything that, has happened. Yeah, I've stood my ground with him on things, but I haven't really gotten angry, and I haven't had the chance to say I'm suffering, to him. And so it was very healing, and then I had a good cry about it. And, loved my inner child, and released it, and let go of that suffering. But I came to that resonance of really, these people that we are so supposedly angry at and lashing out at, the Illuminati, this and whatever, they're hurting too. And I've said this in my other videos on YouTube, not just the one that I did last night or a couple nights ago, that I released. But it's really taking a look at it and seeing, what is it within them that has them hurting so much that they have to lash out at you. Whoever that is, whether it's the Illuminati or your next door neighbor. I remember years ago, when I was married, I had what we would call the next door neighbor from hell. This man, his name was Keith. God love him, and I have great compassion for him. But at that time, I was very angry with him, all those years ago, because he was literally the neighbor from hell. We remodeled our house, and he used to work for the city. And the day we started construction, even though I had a contractor and we had all the proper permits and everything else, he had to see it his way to, try to stop the process. Because he was very angry and he was very jealous. And he even went so far as to build his house about a year after we finished our construction. He built his house twice the size of our house. Kind of like I'll show you kind of thing, because he was so angry and so jealous. And, in those moments, I was angry too at him, and upset with him, because I couldn't believe, he was acting like such an ass, really, from an earthly standpoint. But at the same time, I came into that place of compassion and forgiveness and releasing that, all those years ago, because I saw the hurting inner child in him, and what it really had to do with. And it went back to his inner child, and some things that happened in his childhood in this life, plus a few other lives that I picked up on as well for him. And so, I was able to come into that healing. And ironically, a couple of years after I did that, I found out that his wife had passed. And because his wife had passed, it changed his life, and he came into a place of compassion and was able to let go of that anger and jealousy and things of that nature. So it was quite an interesting experience. We weren't living in the neighborhood anymore. We had moved when I had found out about that, but nonetheless, it was very, very healing. So it's, it goes to show that, we're all in this together. And if we have some anger or hurt and pain and suffering, even though it's our own or it's another's and we think it's another's, it's really just an outer projection of the mind, in this matrix. And the way to get out of the matrix is to come into that place of compassion and healing and love. So, that said, does anyone else have anything else they'd like to share or to ask? it open. I know we have a lot of people who are just listening in tonight who haven't been on the chat, so I want to thank you all, even if you haven't tuned in to write anything in the chat and you're just taking in the meditation and taking in what is being shared. Your presence is appreciated, and we feel you, and we honor you, and that too, what I spoke about in the YouTube video as well that I did, and Thich Nhat Hanh's, words as well in those videos is the greatest gift that you can give to the one you love is your presence. And that means fully being there. And as I talked about in my YouTube video, that's really being there fully. And if you're in physical presence with someone, just doing what we did in the meditation, gazing into their eyes. You don't have to say anything, but just being there and being fully present. And I talked about it in terms of, our divine masculine in my new video, how being the consciousness of presence is so key. It applies to all of us, and we can give that gift of being fully present in the moment with the ones we love. It truly is the gift, because then in that silence we hear their heart and know that we are heard and they are heard. And so it's a beautiful gift of love. And it heals. So we'll make this be the last call for the evening. For those who wish to ask anything or share anything, please feel free to. Last call. And as we're leaving space for anyone who wants to share to type into the chat, just want to remind you that we are here every Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and for all the other time zones around the world, please tune in and come join us every Tuesday evening. I am here, and know that I am always here for you. I do mentoring as well. I do spiritual readings. All of that's available on my website. diamondlady.net is my website. So you can get in touch with me for those of you who are new and are listening in who do not know that. Carolina says, thank you, love to you all. It will all get better. Yes, totally. And hearts namaste. Shadrach says, thank you very much. Melissa says, you're very, very welcome, and love to you all as well. And so we will close out the evening by saying that I love and honor each one of you for where you are on the journey, and I appreciate you being here every week. And for those who will be listening on the archive, you are here now in the present moment just as much as we are. As in this moment is all we have. And this moment is all there is. And I love you, I appreciate you, I honor you, and thank you. And we'll see you all next Tuesday evening. Espavo.